We bring this council some of the voices of the Syrian people in eastern Ghouta who have suffered so much while waiting for this Security Council to act. A doctor treating patients in a makeshift hospital described the condition she is facing. Quote, "We're mental and emotional wrecks. There's nothing more we can do. We are bled dry." In a haunting video, the doctor walks into a room with a crying mother as she says, quote, "I'm waiting for my son to die. At least he'll be free of pain. I was just making bread for him when the roof fell in. He's going straight to heaven. At least in heaven there's food." Another message we received yesterday that I think was said to you in all of the closed consultations, but I think it's important to say it again, was one that was an emergency call from a doctor in eastern Ghouta. Quote, "We have a horrible situation here. We're being targeted with all kinds of weapons, nonstop. We lack everything: water, food, medical supplies, shelter. This is a disaster. Everyone is just waiting to die." Today, the Security Council finally took a step toward addressing these devastating levels of human suffering in Syria. The United States wants nothing more than to see the ceasefire in this resolution implemented immediately across the country. It is critical that the Assad regime and its allies comply with our demand to stop the assault on eastern Ghouta and immediately allow food and medicine to reach everyone who needs it. All of us on this council must do our part to press the Assad regime as hard as we can to comply. But we are late to respond to this crisis, very late. On Wednesday, the Secretary General made an emotional plea for an immediate ceasefire in Syria to allow the very basic necessities to get to the people. Kuwait and Sweden had a version of this resolution ready to go for a vote, but Russia called for a delay. On Thursday, in an effort to stall, Russia called for an open meeting on the humanitarian situation in Syria. At that meeting, 14 members of this council were ready to impose a ceasefire. But Russia obstructed the vote again. And then yesterday, this council sat around for hours, ready to vote, only to have Russia delay it again. Every minute the council waited on Russia, the human suffering grew. Getting to a vote became a moral responsibility for everyone, but not for Russia, not for Syria, not for Iran. I have to ask, why? At least 19 health facilities have been bombed since Sunday. 19. As they dragged out the negotiation, the bombs from Assad's fighter jets continued to fall. In the 3 days it took us to adopt this resolution, how many mothers lost their kids to the bombing and the shelling? How many more images did we need to see of fathers holding their dead children?